Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap session for Tuesday, June 27th. My name is Doug McKay. I am the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market, macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses for the day. We do create multiple hypotheses in order to have a plan for whatever the market throws at us. We have two main hypotheses and then two alternative trend type hypotheses. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking it out, please send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website, there's no blog. This is not a commercial venture. We do everything live here in the go-to, in the pre-market session, and then we do live trading and analysis during the course of the trading day in the RTH session. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. Okay, so taking a look at the news today, we have S&P CS Composite 20-year HPI year over year at 9 o'clock Eastern time, I should say. Then we've got CB Consumer Confidence at 10 with Richmond Manufacturer. Then we've got three Fed speakers. We've got Harker speaking at 11:15, but the big one is going to be Yellen speaking. Where is she speaking at? She is speaking at the British Academy President's Lecture in London. Audience questions will be expected, so what she says could move the market then. And then at 5:30 tonight we have Kashkari speaking. Fat man, they like to speak a lot. Taking a look at yesterday. Yesterday our main hypothesis was a rotation down into the 40 to 35 area, find initiative buyers and then rotate us up and continue the upward trend. Our secondary hypothesis was a move up into the 44 to 47 area, find responsive sellers and rotate us down. And the third hypothesis was a sideways consolidation fighting the high. We kind of got hypo 2 completed, and then we went into like hypo 3 with the sideways consolidation fighting the high from yesterday. And then we closed near the low. Again, another double distribution. We're seeing a lot of these double distributions lately. And you can see that this bottom of our range was right at the LVN from the double distribution. So we fully auctioned the upper portion of this day here, but failed to get into the lower distribution. And overnight, we've moved down into that lower distribution and tested the week low again at 30. And I'm going to go to a higher time frame because I want to show this. You can see that, we've got this 30 here, this 30 here, then we dipped down 28 there, and then we had 30 here, then we had 30, 50, or was that 30 as well? That was 30 as well. So you can see the buyers just keep stepping in at this 30 level for the last week of sessions, and the buyers step in. And overnight we went down to that 30 level yet again, and the buyers stepped in again and take us right back up into the balance, right smack dab in the middle of the micro composite VPOC at 35.50. And we're just chopping around in this balance. Inventory is about 75% net short. both based on both time and volume. Key is going to be whether or not, we hold above this 30. This 34 is going to be, an interesting. It is our low from yesterday. If we get back inside of yesterday's range, do we rotate back up towards the 38.50? There is a single that we left yesterday that needs to be repaired up at 41.75, and that's also the LVN from yesterday, from the double distribution. So that's something that we have to pay attention to. Taking a look at the macro to micro, I always like to start my day looking at the monthly, working my way down. I use a simple candlestick chart on my paper money and a 9 EMA and a 20 SMA. I'm looking for strength of the trend through slope and separation where the trend is being challenged or violated. You can see beautiful trend on the monthly, very much trend intact. Weekly, same thing. Daily, we are compressing now. We're coming into a MA squeeze or an MA hug. This can result in a bounce, but most generally this resolves itself with a crossover and with the 9 crossing over the 20. So we have to pay attention to this level right here at 33, basically 33 or 34. You can pick whichever one you want. We were using 33.50 yesterday from the double distribution 2 days ago. 34 is the range low from yesterday. So, you pick your number, but that's going to be very important. I am also watching 30 as my key over-under line. But you can see that the trend is starting to get challenged here on the daily. As we move down in time frame, you can see the consolidation. We started a downtrend, and then they've been fighting it and going sideways consolidation. Going to the 1 hour, you can see that has been resolved to the downside, and we do have slope and separation, although we are kind of losing some slope right now, and they're challenging the downward trend right here at the 34 level. Going to the 30-minute, you can see that we've started to try to take this this trend back, and we're challenging it right now. Again, another MA squeeze going on there. Going to the 15-minute, you can see we have the start of a possible upward trend, but it's at the very beginning. And then we go to the 5-minute. You can see that we see that time frame. So they are trying to fight. I did post this cup and handle right here. This is valid until we get below the 32.50. So watch that level. But there's your there's your cup, there's your handle. The target on that, the primary target is 36. Let me just bring it up here. Sorry, I should have pulled it up earlier. The primary target is 35.50, so right back into that microcomposite VPOC, and then the extension is up at 36.50, and it's valid until we get below 32.50. So that's just a short time frame measured move. Moving to the bigger picture, the structure, you can see nothing has changed. We are right smack dab in this balance. This is from June 1st, the breakout day, and encompasses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 days of balance. And you can see we're getting very strong kurtosis around that 35.50. This 35.50 is shifted. It was down at 30 and a quarter. It was down at one point time down in the 27 and a quarter. It continues to pop back to the 35.50. That is becoming our dominant price acceptance in this area. The We do have a little LVN at 40.75, but the most important levels that we've got to pay attention to in terms of this balance area, the value area high and value area low. The value area high is at 39.25. The value area low is at 24.75. And we could continue to chop within this value area. We're looking for the breakout. This is becoming very compressed. When we do break out, it should be a strong breakout to the upside or to the downside. I'm not sure which one it's going to be, but considering we keep coming down and banging on the low, I'm thinking it might be to the downside. I'm hoping it's to the downside because it's going to be a nice trade to set up, but we don't know yet. Key levels to pay attention to, obviously, are your value area high and low, I just pointed out, and the balance at 35.50. There is the 31.50, but I'm really going to be watching that 30 area. Below that, target the 27.25 and the value area low at 24.50, and then below that you've got 22. Our key line in the sand is still down here at 16.50. That confirms the breakout for a bigger move down towards the 11 and the 01 area, the centennial number of 2400, and the next big target below, which was the last price that was accepted down here before the breakout of this longer time frame balance area that we were in, that centered around the 2382 area. So taking our overnight numbers, our overnight high is 37.25. Our overnight low is 30. Our VPOC is not likely to shift much. If it does, 24.3350. And we basically got a strong kurtosis around that 33.50. So we've got balance. Levels that we've got to pay attention to. Obviously, I'm watching the 30 as a key level for me, an over-under line. I'm going to be watching this 34, and I'm going to bring it down to encompass the 33.50 to 34. And then we've got the value area at 35, but it's right there at the microcomposite VPOC. So it's, and the naked close. The naked close is 35.75. So really can't lean against here. And then we've got the overnight high at 37.25 with the naked VPOC at 38.50. The value area from the microcomposite is at 39.25, and that is just below the VWAP. So I'm going to be watching that area. I'm actually going to be watching for how they respond to this VPOC. I don't usually enter trades within a prior VPOC or developing VPOC, but I will be watching this today because where it sits. And then the LVN, if they get above this, I'm shooting for, this is going to be, I'll remember that trade areas are targets as well. And there's that single at 41.75 that needs to be repaired, and it's the LVN right by yesterday's RTH open and the IB high. So this becomes a over-under line for me as a secondary over-under line. Over. And then, of course, above that, we'd be looking for a move up to the daily ATR. Our daily ATR is running at 14.53. That's the 20-period full session daily ATR, 14.5 points off of the bottom. That takes us up to 44.50 as our daily upside target. and on the bottom off of the high overnight, it takes us down to 22.75. I'm going to be targeting a move to the 45.50 and then the breakout above the 47 to go into new all-time highs. Levels below really don't shift. This is going to be an important over-under line for me as well. Because if we get below the overnight low, I'm targeting this 27.25. I don't think the 28's the number. I think it's really the 30 because we keep stopping there. Target the 27. Then we've got the value area low down at the 24.50 of the microcomposite value area. I'm going to mark this properly too on here. So come on. Because I really think this value area for the microcomposite is becoming a very important level. All right, and then below the 24.50, we're tracking that 22.50, just below the daily ATR. So we have range capabilities to get down to the 22.50. Now our weekly ATR is running at 33.55. That's the 20 period full session weekly ATR. So our weekly ATR range goes from 13.75 to 63.50. So we still have capabilities of going into the low teens or making new all-time highs within the weekly. We're nowhere near critical mass right now. We still have 4 sessions left. That gives us a 4-session ATR of 58 points. Our open of the month is 24.3650, so we're right basically 3 points below that right now. So we're nowhere near critical mass. Critical mass right now is up at 24.9475 or down at 23.7838. So I don't think we're going to get anywhere close to critical mass. So in terms of hypotheses, we're going to have yesterday we opened above the prior day range. Today it looks like we're going to open below it or just inside of it, but definitely below value. So my main hypothesis is a open auction out of range or just inside a range but outside of value, finding responsive buyers up into the 35 to 38 area, possibly even up into the 42, then finding responsive sellers and then rotating us down and coming down and taking out the overnight low and the naked VPOC at 27.25 and chopping around going sideways from there. Maybe a late day probe down to the 24.50 to check the microcomposite value area low. Hypo 2 is a open auction just in range or just out of range, a move down to between the 30 and the 27, and we find our buyers yet again, and they rotate back up into the 38.75, chop around there and push through and take out that single at 41 and possibly get a late day probe up into the upper distribution from yesterday. That is Hypo 2. Hypo 3 is an open test drive or an open drive and failing to take out the naked VPOC, pushing down into the 27, chopping around down between 30 and 27, and then pushing through down into the 22, maybe even a late day probe down to 19 or 1650 to test that key line in the sand, but finally taking us and breaking us out of that balance that we're in. And then Hypo 4 is a open auction just outside of range and basically chopping between 27 and 38 and fighting the lower side of this as we did yesterday on the upper side, and just basically rotating and fighting the low, around 34, 33 area. Those are my four main hypotheses. The fifth is a take back day, and that would be a strong move up into the 42, break above the 42, take a trip right through range and value, and go and put in a new all-time high and close somewhere up here. But that's less likely. But it is Tuesday, so it could be a turnaround Tuesday as well. Taking a look at gold. Gold, what a ride it's been on. $57 down, $18 up. The next day, $23.50 down, and now we rotate back up and $17.30. Some big moves in gold, but most of it is happening in the Globex, and I keep missing it. The key line to watch right here is the 1249 area. We came down and tested that, just about an hour ago, and we were working our way back up. If they can get above this 53 area, look for them to push through the 54 and 50 back into balance up around the 1256. If they don't hold the 49, look for them to rotate down into the 44, and anything below 42, look for them to break into the 30s again, and possibly this time come down into that 31, 32 area. So that's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.